Ever since I've started making videos like this, I've come to realize that many of the things that have inspired classic Disney movies over the years have also inspired many people from around the world to make their own movies. I mean, I already figured that, but I digress. The point is that many people are only familiar with the Disney versions of these tales, and that's a real shame. In some cases, it might be better that we don't know about them. In other cases, though, not so much. Today's movie is sort of in between. Anyway, I've shown you the Soviet version of Winnie the Pooh, the Belgian version of Tarzan, and now today I'm going to talk about the Czech version of Alice in Wonderland. Enjoy. Like I said earlier, pretty much everyone knows about the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland, and rightfully so. It's a classic. It is by all means a great adaptation of its source material, and it really shows that Disney knows just what to do with that material. Well, for the most part. But ignoring that terrible live-action adaptation, the 1951 version is what really holds up. It can be described as whimsical, or very much like a fairy tale. However, some people don't take too kindly to the whole fairy tale analogy, which is where I want to bring up the Czech director Jan Švankmajer. If you want to learn more about him, you can do that yourself. But for now, you should just know that he had been making short films since 1964, and he's a big fan of Lewis Carroll. And after working on short films for years, one of which was based on the Jabberwocky, he was inspired to make his own movie based on Alice in Wonderland. And he wanted to differentiate his films from the others by having it feel more like a dream. I guess if you want something done right, you really do gotta do it yourself. So anyway, let's take a look at this movie. Now, since I'm talking about Alice in Wonderland, I really don't feel like talking about the plot, because it's Alice in Wonderland. You should know it by now. I might refer to different plot points here and there, but mostly this video is going to be focusing on other aspects of the movie. With that said, I think a good place to start would be by talking about the animation. As you can see, this movie uses a mixture of live action and stop motion animation. And to say that the makers were creative with this would be a really big understatement. For instance, instead of chasing the rabbit down the rabbit hole, she chases him through a desk. And seeing her climb through it like that really adds to the surreal, dreamlike quality of the movie. And then of course, when she drinks from the inkwell, she turns into a doll. Which leads me to another thing. Instead of having miniature sets like people usually do when using stop motion, they had just regular sized sets. Through the magic of camera angles and all that, they just worked with what they had. Not only is that awesome, but that's also really inspiring. Overall, I thought this was a really good movie. The only thing that I really didn't like about it was practically every 2 minutes it cuts to the girl's mouth and she says something. It's really jarring, it just really distracts from the movie. And it's made worse by the fact that I can't speak Czech. But ignoring that, this isn't the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's okay to have narration, just don't cut to someone's lips every 2 seconds. It's really distracting. With all that said though, I still found this movie to be very enjoyable. If you can get past some of the more jarring aspects, or if you're just a fan of Lewis and Carroll in general, I would highly suggest watching this. According to Wikipedia, there is a version of this with English subtitles. It's out on DVD, so go check it out. Or be like me and look for it online and find it without the subtitles. It makes it that much more surreal, which is totally why I looked for it online. It's not like I was unwilling to shell out the cash or anything. Anyway, that's it for now. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This is a product of our great society.